Well, good afternoon and welcome to Mondays with Michael Live here on Facebook. But today is Wednesday. So thank you for joining me today on Wednesday. We did take the weekend off. So for those of you who take an extended weekend for President's Day, we took an extended weekend, did a little traveling to Florida. It was a really, really good time. Got to see some friends. And of course, we got to see the Yankees at spring training. So for those of you who follow me on Facebook, you saw some of the pictures. Had a really good time. We all had a really good time. So today's session is Wednesday, not Monday. We'll go back to Monday next week, do our regular Mondays with Michael Live. Today's session, we're going to go back to the leadership portion of our program. We've taken our program this year and broke it down into different functions within the business. So today is back to leadership. So if you remember last time we got together and spoke about leadership, we talked about the work of leaders, which is the assessment that's offered to us through Wiley. It's based on the book, The Work of Leaders. Show it here again, The Work of Leaders book, also done by Wiley. And last time we got together, we talked about crafting a vision. So how it was for leaders to kind of craft this vision. And under vision, we took a look at the three drivers under crafting a vision. We talked about exploration, boldness, and testing assumptions. We gave you some behaviors on each of those areas. What are some of the drivers, some of the behaviors in those areas, so that you can really, really craft a vision. But today we're going to talk about building alignment. So after you've crafted that vision, how do you bring the team together, whether it's a small team that you're working with or even the organization? How do you build alignment around that vision? And I need to tell you, in all the years we've used this program, we've used this program now for several years, and even talking with the staff at Wiley, they've told us that building alignment tends to be the lowest scores for leaders in this program. That most leaders find it very comfortable crafting a vision, and when we get to championing execution in a couple weeks, they are very comfortable in executing that vision. It's building alignment within the organization, within the team, they tend to struggle with. So let's talk about that a little bit. I'm going to go to my notes here, talk a little about what the assessment measures, and then I'm going to give you some behavior tips along the way. So let's dig right in. So under building alignment, there are three drivers. The assessment actually measures three drivers under building alignment. The first is clarity, the second is dialogue, and the third is inspiration. So let's talk about that a little bit. So when we talk about alignment, we're talking about doing something that brings people together and generates excitement around the vision. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about clarity. So under clarity, we measure two behaviors. We measure explaining the rationale. So you need to be able to explain in common sense terms the rationale behind the vision to others, whether they be within your team or outside of your team. What is the reason why for this vision? And other than using your gut feeling, you really need to explain the rationale behind this. It's just not, it's my way, so that's why we're going to do it. You need to put some meat around that rationale. And then you want to have some structured messaging, which you may want to prepare before you start explaining the rationale. So you may be good at on your feet, you may be good at being impromptu, but you really want to have some structured messaging. Why should others buy into this vision? What things can you organize under structured messaging? Thoughts before you go out and speak to the masses, if you will, whether it's a small team or a large team. So clarity, being clear with your message, explaining the rationale, and come up with some structured messaging around the vision. The second driver is dialogue. So again, dialogue, talking to the folks around you, talking to the folks outside of your team. So exchange perspectives. So you just don't want to present information. You want to exchange ideas. You want to go back and forth. A lot of leaders we work with say, Michael, this is the way it is. We're going to move forward. I don't need feedback from my team. And we go, no, 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 no. So you want to exchange perspectives either within your team or outside of your team. You definitely want to get some feedback. And then are you receptive to other people's ideas? Leaders have a tendency not to be receptive to other people's ideas. You want to kind of keep the door open to other people's ideas. Rather than challenging people's ideas all the time, be receptive. Get some feedback from them. Play it out a little bit. When you challenge other people's ideas and they're not comfortable sharing them with you, you may cut off that spigot moving forward. So you definitely want to be receptive to others' ideas and kind of play it out a little bit. And then the last is inspiration. So you want to be expressive. We work with a lot of leaders that they tend to be a bit more reserved when they're trying to put forward this vision, you got to be expressive. You got to be pumped up. Now, this doesn't mean jumping on the table and screaming at the moon and doing the happy dance in the office, though, that's not bad once in a while. But you want to be expressive. You have to be excited about this vision. You need to share that excitement with those that are around you, both in your department and outside of your department. So you want to make that excitement contagious. If you're excited, they'll be excited. Other people will be excited about this vision, and your opportunity to move this vision forward will probably be more successful. And then you want to be encouraging. You want to be encouraging of others. You want to seem optimistic. You want to be optimistic. You want to be encouraging of others. You want to share these ideas. You want to all be rallying around this vision. So it's very, very important that you encourage others to be excited and encourage others to share this excitement with others in the organization. So those are the behaviors that we measure. So those are the behaviors we talk about in the classroom. Those are the behaviors that we assess along the way. So what are some tips for you to use in moving forward with these behaviors? So let me give you a couple tips on each of the areas. So in clarity, and you can get these from the book. These are right out of the book, so you can get these from the book. Under clarity, you want to be straightforward and transparent. You want to look at the situation from the listener's point of view. It needs to make sense from them. You want to kind of monitor their reactions as you're starting to have this dialogue. Create talking points that balance the big picture and the details. A lot of our leaders look at the big picture, but they don't really work on the details. So work on that messaging on the details. And refer back to your messaging from time to time. Go back and forth with your messaging. Let them know what's going on. Tips for dialogue. Create an open and relaxed environment. You want to be approachable. Your people need to be approachable to you. We work with a lot of leaders, and I'll talk to them in a coaching session. So if I report to you, how approachable are you? I'm like, well, I don't know. My people never come talk to me. My door's always closed, and I sit behind my desk, and that's what I do. So you want to be approachable. You want to be approachable. Have one-on-one conversations with your people. Use reflective listening. Make sure your tone of voice and body language are receptive to have this conversation. Be careful not to debate or give negative feedback on an idea you're getting back from your employees. Again, this is dialogue. This is a two-way thing. You want to get some positive feedback. And look for those things that make sure people are just telling you what you want to hear. You're greeting with the boss, doing a little rah-rah dance. Make sure you get some critical feedback along the way to make sure that this vision you're moving forward is really, really good to go. And really encourage them to be honest with their feedback. Create that open, honest environment. And then some tips for inspiration. So identify what gets you excited. Identify what gets your people excited. Have this understanding on getting them motivated. Choose specific talking points to get inside people's minds and hearts. You really want to get into their minds and hearts rallying around this vision. Be aware that your body language is very important. How you present yourself is very important. Make sure when you're giving feedback, you're listening. Make sure you're getting feedback, you're listening, using good eye contact, using good body language. And then also consider your audience. Consider your audience when you're having these dialogue conversations and you're trying to inspire. So those are just some tips on how to roll out the behavior. As always, we offer a free assessment. So if you really want to take this assessment, see where you've fallen on the model, we're open to having that. Just send me a message here if you're seeing this on LinkedIn or if you're seeing this on Twitter. Just send me a message saying, Mike, I'd like to try out that assessment. I want to see where I fall into this model. And if you want a copy of the book, just let us know. We'll send you a copy of the book also. We're getting back to our regular schedule. So next Monday, we'll be back on Monday, 4 o'clock here on Facebook. Our session next Monday, we're going back to trainers. So we're going to go to trainers and HR directors, as we have some content for them this season. So our session next Monday is on starters and finishers for trainers or those who teach. And this will also be for managers, but it's mostly for trainers and HR directors who are actually in the classroom. So we'll talk about how to energize your audience at the beginning and how to make sure you close successfully at the end. So starters and enders tomorrow, if you will. Not tomorrow, next Monday, on Mondays with Michael here on live on Facebook. I'll add a couple links here shortly to the dialogue here today and to the video. If you want a free assessment or free book, just let us know. Thanks again for checking us out. We'll see you next Monday here in Facebook Live, Mondays with Michael. Take care.